We're following breaking news out of Waukesha, Wisconsin, where a red SUV barreled through parade goers. Last night, on November the 21st, at about 4:39 p.m. at Gasper Avenue and Main Street, a red SUV drove through a barricade headed westbound. It struck nearly 40 people, and there are 5 confirmed fatalities at this time. Mayor Sean Riley called it a horrible, senseless tragedy. He walked in the parade early on and remembers seeing smiling children and their parents who came to celebrate with the community. He is deeply saddened by the senseless act, and his heart goes out to all those affected, injured, and to the families and witnesses of those who lost loved ones. He thanks all of those who sprung into action quickly and prays for everybody involved. He went on to thank the departments that responded, and he mentioned that the federal government has already reached out to help if they can. He prays that the community will find healing during this hard time. Police Chief Daniel Thomas stated that they're still working on notifying families at this time, so there's not a concrete number of fatalities or injuries at this time, and this is still an active investigation. Police chief went on to say that there was an officer that discharged their weapon at the subject vehicle. That officer had been with the department for 6.5 years. No one was injured by that shot. Many people were transported by police, fire, EMS, as well as their families to local hospitals. They are no longer looking for a subject vehicle and have somebody in custody, but it's still a very active scene. He concluded by thanking all law enforcement that helped and stated that it's unknown if this was related to terrorism. The scene is secure, he reiterated, and they'll continue the investigation. Finally, Fire Chief Steve Howard took the podium. He says that his department was involved in the parade, and as soon as they heard reports coming in on radio, he immediately had 5 stations responding. They activated their mass casualty protocols and used what's called a Mavis box alarm to call for a second alarm. The 5 stations of the small Wisconsin town responded, as well as 12 other local stations. Waukesha Fire and EMS transported 11 adult patients and 12 pediatric patients to local hospitals. It was asked by local reporters if the shelter-in-place order was still in effect, and the mayor said that it was not. It was put in place to keep the community away so the scene could be investigated. At this time, there are no reports of shots being fired from that SUV. This is a very fluid situation, and we will continue to follow it closely. To watch the entire press conference from WCIA3, visit the link in our description below. You'll also find all of the sources we use for this article down there. That way you can read them yourselves. For Zahner News, this is Josh Zahner.